What's up, everybody? Or to the one viewer we got out there. How's your Wednesday going? We actually might get to see Kansas today, which would be kind of cool. I've seen him a couple times on a private chat. He had a sore throat after they shoved that breathing tube down his throat, So that's why he didn't want to chat for a little while. He says he's much better, but still not sure if he's going to be able to host his own DT hour, because it's still hard for him to talk for a long period of time. But hopefully he's watching. Maybe that's the one viewer we got out there right now. But I'm hoping that he'll pop in at least for a few minutes and talk, or at least just show everybody he's still alive and okay. We all know he is, but I don't know, it's just nice to see it, right? So I was watching a video recently, actually just a few minutes ago. I just finished it. It was one that Mule had shared on, I believe, the Green Dragon Tavern Chat's Google Plus page. There's so many different things to share on nowadays, who knows, but it was about Senator Ted Cruz standing up for the First Amendment, because apparently 49 Democrats signed a bill to repeal or drastically change the wording in the First Amendment, which I kind of had heard about. In fact, I heard about it even further back than on the news. I heard Kansas talk about it. And that's why this chat is named Kansas Was Right. Yes, even a broken watch is right 2 times a day. Now, Kansas got that right, and if he was here, he would be loving this, loving it, right? But, yeah. I can't believe it. Now, nobody thinks it's going to pass, and a lot of people are like, who gives a shit? It's not going to ever pass. Well, the whole reason anybody should give a shit, really, is because they're even attempting it. Right? There's 49 people out there that are in the government with power wanting to pass legislation that would pretty much give up your rights of freedom of speech. That's serious shit. Not only should it not pass, but the people who put their name to it should be run out of town. They should be so scared that they're running to the line to unsign it. Where do I get into a line to get my name off this fucking monstrosity? That's what they should be doing. They should be publicly humiliated and possibly executed. Why? Because it's treasonous. You're sworn in to uphold and protect the Constitution of the United States, and right there in the First Amendment says that you're not supposed to change the First Amendment, right? That you're not supposed to make any laws about that either. It's not as clearly worded as the Second Amendment with shall not be infringed, but it's still there, right? You don't mess with it. But that's what they're trying to do. And in fact, in my view, I think that's treasonous. What do you think? So I just woke up not too long ago. I had a late night chat session with at WM Warriors. We were talking about our new favorite caliber that we want to get into. You guys have any ideas what that might be? It's a rifle, but it can also be a pistol, right? So either right there, it's probably AR or AK platform. And I was gonna look for something, and I totally forgot what. Oh yeah, I was looking for my vapor. I'm smoking and vaping at the same time. No, that was a fun chat though last night. We went off the air kind of early because G dropped out and he was the only dragon at the time. But we had a good discussion. And a new caliber that we don't have currently that we want to buy, that's in either an AK or an AR platform, so that you can make it a pistol. And I'll leave you guys guessing for a little bit. I know Mule knows, and a few others might know, but for the most part, it's secretive. But I think it's interesting. There was reasons behind it and stuff. But yeah, so Kansas was right. They are trying to. Nobody thinks it's going to pass, but they still made the attempt, right? It still should count for something. They made the attempt to radically change the language of the First Amendment because they don't like the Koch brothers and people like them contributing to the other side. It's not fair. It's not fair when these, billionaires are putting money towards a campaign. Well, they did a whole list. Senator Cruz did a whole list of the top 16 donors to political places. Koch brothers were like number 59 on a list. On the list, the first 16 or first 19 people on that list were all Democrat. Yeah, the Koch brothers are it's all fucked, granted. But that goes into the freedom of speech, right? You got a lot of money. That's the good and the bad of our system, is that people with a lot of money have a lot of influence. So that kind of sucks. But another way for me, it's also kind of a necessary evil. I'm one of these people that will shout from the rooftops lots of times that I'm for everybody's liberty, everybody's constitutional rights, whether I agree with them or not, right? Talking about the Ku Klux Klan, the Nazi Party, all these hate speech groups. I believe in their right of freedom of speech. If they want to donate whatever revenue they come up with to a political party that they want to do, I have no problem with that. I don't like them. I don't want them to win. I'm going to do my best to make sure it don't happen, but it doesn't mean that they don't have a right to do it. I mean, what's next? Not allowing Democrats or the person of the opposite party to go vote, because you don't agree with it. So another hint on this pistol/rifle with a new caliber. It's like around $1.50 a round, $1.50 a bullet. And that I had thought about getting into this caliber a while ago, but I couldn't because it was $1.50 a bullet. And I'm still thinking that's a lot of friggin' money per round going to the range, right? But on the other hand, it's not one that you would just spend the entire day shooting at the range, right? This would be something that you shoot the last few magazines out, when you're almost done at the range, you shoot it just to finish up the day. Kind of an wow factor. But it's also a pretty good, defensive shit. Hit the fan. Shit hit the fan for sure. In this world now that we live in, and what you have to go up against half the time when when the shit actually does hit the fan. 6 viewers. Hey, what's up? I will now search for the link to this chat. But I have to sign out apparently. Holy cow. Sorry for the dead air. Third up, what's up? J Watt. By targeting campaign finance does target free speech. Nobody should be surprised the left would target anything. It only targets campaign finance, nothing more. It goes after a lot more than campaign financing. And it's just a bill to introduce a proposed amendment to the Constitution. Even if it passed D.C. and initially the amendment, it would never survive the states. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it will pass. I'm just saying that it shouldn't even be brought up. The people who brought it up, they have the freedom of speech of doing that, but those people should definitely be made an example of by the voters. I think it's an atrocity that it even got brought up in the first place. How is it that we are talking about repealing or radically changing the First Amendment? Hey, what's up, QC?
Hey.
Thanks for getting the back door. I don't know if my links are working, so.
Yeah, I saw it pop up on the YouTube feed, and it said scheduled for 9 p.m. Central, and then I came back a little bit later, and you were on, but I had to go to my history to find it because it wouldn't show up in the feeds, and I kept checking the feed, and it shows up in the feed now, so you'll pick up some viewers. Looks like you're up to 10 now, so that's good.
Yeah, they changed a whole bunch of crap on me, man. I'm glad I even got it up and running.
So what pistol rifle caliber are you coming up with? 50 Beowulf?
Yep, exactly. 50 Beowulf.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, cool. You're definitely gonna have to reload for it because it's
Yeah.
impossible to buy the ammo.
Now you can buy it, and there's one place that's selling the uppers, right? You can buy the upper, and they also sell ammo for actually a reasonable price, considering what it is. Because most of the places it's $1.50 at the cheapest, but this place where you can buy the upper, you can get it for like $1.10, $1.20 a
There you
round.
go. Fucking half inch diameter and 440 grains of smackaroo.
Right? You got that just in case, or what?
No, I've let some people abuse themselves with it.
Oh, sweet.
But
Yeah.
you can get the uppers through Midway USA. They have 3 or 4 flavors to choose from.
Mhm. Yeah, I went
You
over
don't
to
do
Midway and I didn't see any in stock. The only ones that I didn't see Alexander Arms place.
You might. I don't know. They're so iffy on their the delivery schedules. There are people complaining about everything that comes out of there. But if you're not in a hurry, you can put an order in.
All right. What's up, Kansas? I know it's you.
You know it was me, huh?
Yo.
So,
Welcome to
so
your
how
own
long?
damn chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome back, Kansas.
Well, I don't know how long I can hang in there. My throat's really bad. But
Just as long as you want, man. Just as long as you want.
so what am I right about? Kansas was right.
I knew that'd bring you in. The whole, I was watching this thing about Ted Cruz going off on the people who, were trying to propose a bill to amend the First Amendment.
Uh-huh. Like I
It's not going
said,
to pass.
they plan to do it.
Nobody believes this.
No, it is fucking insane the
Sorry.
bullshit the government's coming up with. But
Well,
Well, they're also trying to ban body armor, right? So we got a whole bunch of shit that's going on.
it's a slow, steal your rights away. And it's the way they can do it to get away with it.
Death by 1,000 cuts, man.
For
Yeah,
everyone,
today.
they just keep taking it.
Well, it's not even going to pass, right? Everybody's like, oh, it's not even going to pass. Why are you giving a shit, right? Well, because they even tried it. Death by 1,000 cuts. That yeah, today it's this, tomorrow it's something else, and we're already talking about them trying to ban body armor.
Well, you
Eventually,
figure
one of these things are going to fucking go through.
there's 46 of them there that started it, so you figure that's 46. How many more will agree with them or get bought off? You see my point?
Well, yeah, and all the other Democrats out there that didn't sign on the bill would not sign anything saying they opposed it either.
I mean, that's just it. I mean, there's so many of them that are bought off. I mean, it may pass the first round. It may come down to our governors. And then how many of them are bought off?
Right.
And
And
they
a lot of what I find funny though is a lot of them fail to see the opposite end of that, right? What happens when a conservative gets into office, and then they want to stop the freedom of speech of all the people that the Democrats like right now? That's a two-edged sword. You pass it for one.
That's what the fight's over. They don't want anything to happen because what's going to happen if the other one gets there? Because the 16 is coming up, and whenever they got to get there, whoever's in that office is the one that'll start off and set it their way. So it's going to get dirty soon. And it's not going to be very pretty, I'm afraid. Oh, my throat.
yeah, the third option's out there in the comments. He's just saying that the one part of the bill is targeting campaign finance, which they can always juggle that shit around. But I guess as far as a constitutional amendment, he doesn't think 38 states would support it. But I
I would
certainly
I would
hope not.
suggest that you watch the Ted. I would suggest anybody watch the Ted Cruz thing. It's an hour. It's almost an hour long. It's kind of a long thing, but really, what is a corporation, right? There's a lot of corporations out there that the whole campaign and finance. I don't like it that billionaires have so much influence, but on the other hand, that also protects the little persons too. You know.
Yeah, plus on top of that, the minute
It
they
is. It sucks, but it comes.
your right to speak, they can change
You know
anything.
what comes with the Second Amendment? Well, risk of somebody with a gun shooting your ass. That's the risk. The risk of freedom. Freedom is never a perfect thing, but it's better than the alternative.
Yeah, you never nap because your rights are constantly under attack, so you got to stay vigilant.
It seems like it nowadays, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm proud to be back, guys. I didn't think I was gonna make it back for a little while.
Yeah, and a lot of us didn't. We're very happy to see you or hear you.
Yeah, looking forward to you feeling well enough to get out and do some shooting. That'll make you feel better.
Yeah, my throat's messing with me. I probably won't do much today. I've got about probably 10 to 15 more minutes of me. Most I can do.
Well, I don't want to make you push yourself too hard either, but it's definitely good to see you or hear you. I know E. Kenny and Linda were out there really giving you a lot of well wishes.
Yes, I know. I want to thank them too. They sent a lot of good wishes. There's a lot of good well wishers out there. I thank y'all.
We're very happy to have you back.
Yeah, I'm canning tomatoes, so I think they're about time for me to take them out of the canner. So I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
I need to get into canning. Did you know that QC had a 50 Beowulf? I didn't. I'm gonna have to talk to him more.
I didn't know he had a 50 Beowulf.
Yeah, I gotta watch his channel more or something. Shit. But, yeah, looking into getting into that platform, that should be fun.
Oh, really?
Eventually. Nothing real soon, right? Because I could do it. It's not actually that much money to get into, right? If you want to get in the grand scope of things, right?
Yeah.
It's I think $700 $600 for the basic upper, and if you already have a lower, then you're ready to go, right? For an AR, and that's really in the grand scope of things not that expensive. The ammo, of course, will kill you, but it's one of those things that you would want to only take to the range once in a while, and stock up on ammo a little bit at a time as much as you can, because that stuff will go through ballistics armor and level 3 shit like butter.
Yeah. That would.
And in the world we live in now, where the cops get called and they bring out tanks and LRADs, you gotta step up your game, man.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. That's what they want you to do. They want to step up so that when they push the buttons, it's going to come out class.
Yeah. Still got my 150 bale, or
Oh, yeah.
BMG. This thing is nice.
Yeah.
I keep telling my wife, well, I've already got ammunition for it, so I should really get one.
Put it in the door, and then that way, whenever you hit it with a hammer on the edge, twitch.
No, I don't think I'll be doing that. I might be stupid, but I ain't that stupid. Shit.
Yeah. Well, it'd be an open door policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of the drawbacks with the 50 Beowulf, right? Well, first and foremost, the round itself is expensive as all hell. But one of the great things about the round is it's a very heavy bullet. It's going usually around 1,600 feet per second, give or take, depending on the weight and the barrel length and all that. It's going fast enough, man. The hits with the pounds of square inch are amazing. Not to mention it can slice through level 3 body armor pretty quick. So.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'll look back.
Yeah, about done with fucking tomatoes. I think I made like 25 quarts now.
You grow on those tomatoes also? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of surprised after. I think there's like maybe 6 tomato plants, and you make these tomato cages out of fence wire that's about 4 feet tall. You know, big cylinders about this big around or so, and they've been producing like a motherfucker. About done
Right
though.
on. Now, how many years have those plants been growing for? Is this only first year?
Oh, tomato plants are just an annual. Although I suppose if you had them indoors under lights and you kept pruning them, you could probably maybe make them grow longer. But
Because I've never been able to grow it. Well, I've had tomato plants, right? But the first time they'd ever produce, it was like cherry tomatoes, and it's not supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be the big tomatoes. But I don't know what I was doing wrong. I'm not a gardening person. I used to be, but when I was a kid. But
yeah,
since
tomatoes
then,
are one of the easiest things to grow. You know.
not in a topsy turvy. Have you ever tried growing it in that?
No, but I think that's just a gimmick.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
I mean, these plants are huge. I mean, they're like 6 feet tall and just grow, growing tomatoes like crazy. It just has to do with that cage arrangement, I think.
Hmm.
But obviously we can't use them up, and a lot of them rot on the vines. But I did that video about free food where the rotten tomatoes. I'm just taking them out in this area where you just let the wild grass grow, before it gets down to the pond, and I'm just throwing them out there. So who knows? Might be volunteer plants next year, but they won't obviously get as big without the cages.
Hmm. Right.
So I've done did pickles some time ago. Those are okay, but they don't seem to last very long. I opened some jars up that are 4 years old, and the pickles taste fine, but they're just all mush. There's just no texture
Ah.
to them at all. But yeah, we've done salsa before, and I don't know. There's an apple tree down the road that I know the neighbors don't save the apples, so maybe I'll try some apple pie filling or something.
Right. Hmm.
So canning's all right, I guess. Then of course you got a collection of jars. You keep reusing the jars in the bans, so you just have to buy the new seals. So.
Yeah, I watch AJ Prepper and her canning all the time. She's always canning something. Honey.
Was gonna do mulberries, but I don't know. I just never got around to going out there and try to collect them. The little tiny things.
I'd love to get into canning, and I thought about doing it, even though I don't have a garden. Get a good deal on something and try to can it. But I'd much rather do it if I had a garden. But living where I live, ain't really a possibility.
Yeah, unless your apartment complex will allow a little common area where people can garden, but
We have a pretty decent sized porch, but even there, I see people putting plants out there, but even there, I don't know. It's not a lot of room. I could do it, but it all have to be potted, right?
yeah, you get some, big ass fucking pots, but you big around, you can get a good decent sized tomato plant out of that, but you got to have sunlight. If you're not facing the right direction, that might fuck it up.
Right.
So I don't know. We're not as would like to be more prepared when it comes to prepping, but I don't know. At least putting some stuff up helps, I guess.
Yeah.
And tomatoes will come in handy. You can make some salsa in the wintertime, or
Well, just for
definitely
the
with some
knowledge of being
chili.
able to do it right. I
Yeah.
think that there is a little bit more to it than just putting a jar and boiling water, right? I would imagine. you
Uh,
know, there's a little bit of
yeah.
skill there.
Each product has a little different way you got to do it. I think
Hmm.
it's the thing is about having enough acid content. So they said tomatoes almost have enough acid, so they said add a couple spoonfuls of lemon juice to keep the acid up. That helps prevent contamination or
Hmm. What about you, Kansas? Your wife do any canning?
Well, she hasn't done any canning lately. She used to. I used to do a lot of canning.
Hmm.
Don't do it no more. Uh,
What do
I'm
you think
going.
they used to call it back in the day before they had, canned food? Was it called jarring? Because cans
yeah, they
are
were.
kind of only, what, 100 years old, maybe a little bit more?
It's all been as long as I've known. It's been canning.
I mean, I suppose cultures from a long time ago they always stored stuff in clay pot, clay jugs and pots or whatever.
Maybe that's where they came up with preserves.
But that there's a boil bath canning where you do that with atmospheric pressure, so you only get a temperature of 212, and then if you got higher altitude, you won't get the boiling temperature, so then you got to use a pressure.
My aunt used to do preserves all the time, like the peach preserve, apple preserve.
Yeah, I think fruit's a little more difficult because and I think you got to pressure can it and use a higher temperature in order to make sure you kill off all the critters that are in there.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that too.
But watch out, if you go to the store and buy a pressure cooker, you might be a terrorist.
Yeah, there's your other problem, right? And you also buy your body armor at the same time, you're screwed, man. They're gonna come knock on your door.
Yeah, go to Walmart, get some ammo, buy a rifle, buy a pressure cooker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you'd be on the list in 2 seconds.
Mm.
They've been taking people already.
So if you're looking at 50 Beowulf, there you got. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of die choices. The Lee set seems to work fine unless you want to spend money on the. I can't remember what the other brand was. It's a quick, expensive one.
That one that was out there in that protest march, they took him out of the protest, took off with him.
What was that again, Kansas? You're talking about Ferguson or something?
People from marches and stuff here a while back. I was watching on my backup videos. Someone was showing the protest, and the guy was there protesting, and they jerked him out of the protest and took off with him. They're getting where they're going after the people nowadays.
It's like the same shit they did when they had the communist revolution and crap, but they're just doing it real slow here, you know? It's sneaking up on us.
We'll see
if
they do it slowly, our people are so enamored with all these nice little techno gadgets that they're unseen to what's going on around them. So if they do stuff really slow, they can take rights away and they can take everything you own away, and it's just slow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, just in casual conversation with people, I don't know, maybe not in this specific example, but oh, you can do that? They go, well, I guess you can do about anything until you get caught.
Yeah.
But you gotta push your rights, you know?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, by the time people wake up, there ain't going to be enough rights left for them to hold on to. They don't watch it.
Well, so I'm curious about this political status shit, because, I mean, all this crap they do in Congress, it deals with U.S. citizens, but if you're not a U.S. citizen, does it apply to you, you know?
Our senators are supposed to be up there representing us, and our representatives are instead doing what they think's right, and not representing us at all.
Well, they're doing a balancing act between the donors and the public opinion, you know? Whether or not it's really a true election, or if they're rigged, you know, if they're true elections, then they definitely have to weigh in on the public opinion part. But if it isn't, they're just, you know, beating us shit to make us think they care, you know.
I'm hoping it's not that.
So I don't know. Countdown to election, 2 months to go. I don't know, when's Obama supposed to speak? Is he supposed to speak tonight or something?
If he does, he ain't going to have a plan.
Yeah. Oh, terrible ISIS is. I'm not going to tell you that we created them and we armed them, and we're doing it to deliberately disrupt the oil flow, and so the Chinese don't get the oil, but they won't tell us that.
Yeah, they won't tell us what. See, all you got to do is take little parts, and you can put it all together. They do things so maniacally. They do a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there, and just enough to keep people off guard. Then they make you fear like hell. It's Someone's going to come bomb your ass.
Fear is a great motivator.
No, it's just like they come to sell you a security system. Oh, you know the house down the street got robbed. You need a security system. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, we got somebody else wanting a link. Sorry, Joe, I didn't see that until just now. I will send you a link.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bail here in about 15 minutes or so. I got a couple errands to run. I gotta get my boy at the bus stop. But come on in, Joe.
I'll be bailing.
We also have Chris that wants to come in, 10-round Patriot. Trying to figure out how to get him in here. That should be interesting.
He's got a dragon key.
Yeah, but he's on his phone, so I guess
Oh,
he's having
Lord.
issues with that shit. So I'm going to kind of do that while you two talk for a little bit. Hopefully I can get this done before Joe has to split.
Yeah, before my voice runs out.
Or Kansas's voice runs out. Because it's going to be a boring-ass chat, just me talking about myself.
Well, let's see what kind of shit is going on. I suppose Obama's going to speak from the White House tonight, and then he'll probably leave D.C. so that any shit goes down, then he won't be around.
Obama's not do shit, to be honest.
Yeah, say I remember that 9/11 day where doing landscaping work, and it was kind of interesting to see the sky, blue sky with no contrails. You know, all the planes are rounded, and then it finished up back at the shop, getting ready to go home, and we saw 3 aircraft all by themselves flying across the sky. And I'm assuming it was Bush on Air Force One and his fighter escort. So it was kind of trippy to see Bush fly over, the only plane in the sky.
Mm.
Too bad I didn't have a SAM missile handy.
They missed their chance.
Yeah, I didn't have a SAM missile handy. Sorry.
Well, last night we were talking, well, you could probably shoot down a helicopter with a 50 barrel. Yeah, maybe.
Well, they'll put holes in engine blocks and everything they say, but of course their range is going to be limited.
Right, and then I'm thinking about one of the pistols, right? I've seen some pistols that are freaking nice.
Hey,
Hey,
Kansas, how you feeling, buddy?
Hey, Mule.
I'm doing better.
Awesome, awesome.
Trying to get my voice to work.
I don't say much, bro. It's just good knowing you're in the room, and Sting's been keeping us up on everything. It's great to hear that you're still here, buddy. So
Tell you what, it was not a pretty sight.
what's up, Sting? Nice hair.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. This is me at my worst.
Nice shirt too, by the way.
Right? I thought so.
Hey, there's Big G.
Figure I'll wear this while, I find all the AK.
What's up, G? Ah, the AK with a 75 round loaded drum.
Right? It's not wound. I got to remind myself that when I go to the range, I need to wind it.
You know what you need to do is take a little bit of nail polish in a subdued color and write it on the back of it.
Make sure to wind.
Wind me.
Yep.
Oh, gee, you bailed out last night and it kept going for a minute or two, and then we ended up.
Gee, how are you?
You're muted, G.
Holy shit, I have a issue with this. Who is the guy with the icon that looks like a COA and his first name is Stan?
Oh, that's G's buddy, and he's a Canadian. Pretty good dude. He was in last night. We talked to him for a bit.
Right. He's in the Google Plus with the chat window asking for a link and Joe's out there too, and I have no friggin' clue on how that shit works. I'm working on it, guys, but you gotta, hold with me here. I might be able. I think I might have an idea.
Me and Sting talked WM Warrior into getting to 50 Beowulf.
All right.
Everybody's doing Beowulf, huh?
And it
I don't know
sounds
if you're
like,
gonna like
well,
it in a pistol.
in
No.
California they can't have a 50 cal BMG gun. So we got into kind of the discussion. Well, you can't have a 50 cal BMG, but you can have 50 cal, right? You can have a 50 cal Beowulf. And then we got into the fact that a 30 round magazine is legal. 30 round AR magazine is legal in California if you're using it for the 50 Beowulf.
Because it's only a 10-round limit.
Yeah, then it's only a 10 round magazine.
Hey, it worked.
What's up, Joe? What do you know?
Hey,
I
Joe.
think I might have an idea.
Me and Sting talked.
We can hear G again, so that's good.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Man, what the?
I'll be back.
All right.
In California, they can't have
Mhm.
50 cal.
So I just gotta turn their YouTube down.
Well, guys, I tried to drop out. I tell you what, 4 times. I crashed. They got me back.
Have a 50
Then my kidneys went.
Sorry about that, G. Sorry about that, Kansas. Just good old time's sake. You know what I mean? Go ahead and reboot or take yourself off mute. I wonder if it's me that's doing that shit. Hold on, I gotta look. Oh yeah, it does look like it's me.
It's going now.
Yeah, that was probably me. Sorry.
How's everyone doing today? What's up, brother Cans? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah, tell us all the story. You told me the story before, but I don't think you tell everybody else yet.
Well, I had crashed about 4 times. I got till my kidneys collapsed, and I had kidney failure. Then I got the sepsis. And, well, let's just say I wasn't doing too good. They had me in an incubator. My throat is like killing me. Not going to be here much longer. But anyway, I'm fighting back. It's a slow process.
You fighting
Still pretty weak.
Well, welcome back, Kansas. Good to see you again. Good to hear you're all right. Still with us. Howdy, G. How you doing? Everybody else on time? Made a Jim.
Hey.
Oh, Dan Elch in the house. Hey, see, I told you, Russell, those links do work in Canada.
Dan's one of the coolest Canadians I know.
Howdy, folks. Howdy.
Hey, it used to be when I used to do the Big Brother stuff. My #1 fan base was from Canada, so I still got to be nice to them no matter what.
There's a lot of cool fuckers in Canada, man. I was in Jamaica partying with a lot of people from Toronto. Cool cats.
Russell, thanks for doing my DT hour. I'm gonna get out of here. My throat's killing me.
All right, man. Well, it sure was good to see you.
Yep, get your rest, Cans.
I've been trying to get in there for a half hour, and I only got to see it for like.
Talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you.
Don't worry, Joe. I learned something new though. So
What?
I learned how to put a link in the middle chat. Apparently, I thought you guys could just hit the button, like there was a button that said join Hangout, and you were just hanging in there for whatever.
No, you gotta ask us to join the hangout or invite us to join it. 'Cause last night you told me you were gonna send me a link or something or an invite. I'm looking all over the place. Like, what the hell? It's not anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not good at that shit, man.
Well,
Okay, next time, what you can do is just send it to me in my Google Mail. YouTube Mail with a PM, and it'll show up on my Google Mail, and I get right in there.
Okay.
and it won't go to anybody else, you know, because it'll be a private message. That's the easiest way you do it.
What's going on? What's the word? What's the word? What's the topic? What's happening?
Well, it's still pissing on us over here, man. It's like endless.
Yeah, I started here this morning.
Anything coming out? Anything new I should know about or missed? Or?
I don't know. Obama's going to give his speech tomorrow or today.
Oh, he's retiring?
Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
no, he's skipping out of town before somebody does something to the Capitol tomorrow.
Well, I thought he was retiring and going to the Bahamas.
No, they're all going to start making speeches because of that meeting they had in Britain there the other day with David Cameron. And, it was Obama, Cameron, and our Prime Minister here from Canada.
But what was the first half of that that you said? What was the meeting about?
It's a UN meeting, I believe, a G8 meeting.
Oh, that's good.
But it was like a special G8 meeting because of Russia or something.
You know, this is supposed to be the president of our country, not go out to the world and try to fucking link us up with everybody else, you know?
Well, they're already shooting off the propaganda up here in the U.S. Canada's already, our national news agencies are saying that Russia buzzed by their ships in the Black Sea under, well, yeah, you're in their territory, and of course they're going to go out and probe you and see what the hell you're doing. You're doing UN exercises in their neck of the woods. Of course they're going to keep an eye on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing you'd do if they were over here.
Well, they're always playing their war games. I mean, it's just that's fun for them to exercise and see what they can find out about the other guy.
Yeah, but the other country takes it as provocation, not a game.
They've always been doing that shit, just.
If somebody came into my yard and started target practicing,
I'd be
guess
taking a
what?
look to see what the fuck was going on.
No, at first I'd be shooting first and asking questions later.
Yeah, well, they buzzed by a Canadian warship, and I guess they did it pretty close. And Canada's all, well, I don't blame them. I don't blame Russia for buzzing by and taking a look.
I mean, that whole flap in the 60s with the U-2 flyovers of Russia, and they shot one down, and that created a big stir.
Yeah, so did Cuba.
Hey, G, do you know how to add Chris Penround to this conversation so that he can get in?
Yeah. Someone got some Jamaican music or something playing in the background.
Something, damn.
Who's listening to that? What is that you all listening to?
I don't know, but if you can get 10 rounder in, that'd be great. I have to go for just a second. I'll just leave it on here, but I'll be right back.
I'm doing it right now, but
Yeah, I gotta go too. I gotta go run some errands to meet my boy at the bus stop. And if you guys are here in a half hour, I might drop back in.
all right, Chris. And, what are you listening to, Stan?
I'm just reading up on some posts about our government today.
Yo, what are you listening to?
What's that?
Who's listening to that music? I'm just trying to find out what is it.
Oh, that's my daughter. Sorry.
Oh, no.
She's on the computer over there.
I can hear it.
You can hear your music.
I like it. What is she listening to?
What are you listening to?
Some freaking stupid song with my boyfriend.
Well, some song about an ex-boyfriend that somebody posted on Facebook.
Yeah. Stupid song.
I need to go back to Jamaica, man. I need a vacation. I gotta get out of here.
Vacation? I've never had one.
Oh man, you should try it. I try to do it 4 or 5 times a year.
Okay, Chris, I sent you a PM.
Chris, I already sent it to you, buddy. Just the way we always do. You should be in.
Well,
got
you
it.
get it one way or the other.
Yeah, you got it one way or another. Sure. Let's go. I'll copy the link.
Did Chad end up getting in here last night?
Yes.
Who?
Yeah,
Chad.
Chad was in.
Oh, okay.
I gotta take my boy to the doctor here in about 20 minutes, but I'll be back.
How's he doing there, G?
That fucking virus I told you, he's getting that respiratory shit.
Yeah. So you got croup.
Yeah, man, that croup shit ain't no joke.
Is he getting any better at all?
Yeah, but it's slowly. He took his 3-day steroids. But he's 2 years old, man, and he's,
Yeah.
it's tough. What's up, brother? What's up, 10 round?
What's up, gentlemen? How you doing?
All right, Chris.
Hey,
Just
Chris.
out here working right now in Los Angeles.
Oh, wish I could be there with you, brother. I would be
Nah,
there.
you don't, G. It's garbage.
That's my favorite city, man.
Holy
garbage.
shit.
Hey, Chris, what was the name of those books that you were talking about that time? Those funny books that you read?
LA's not garbage.
The what boats?
Those books that you read, those cartoon books that are hilarious?
Oh, the Tosser books.
Tosser books, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, Tosser. Tosser. Those are some great books. Yeah, I'm out. So let me tell you some funny stuff, G. Right? We had a guy who we used to go pick up parts with, and he would always mess with us.
Right.
He's a manager for a big door company.
Right.
He's in a bit.
You know what? You broke up.
A pinch.
You're roboting bad, Chris.
Robot, Chris. We can't hear you, bro.
Probably getting a bad cell area.
Who do you think?
Yeah, he's at a bad spot, dude.
Yeah,
He'll come back. You gotta rewind and go back to part 1 because nobody heard you.
All right, hold on. Let me turn my.
He's probably at a bad spot.
Plus his
Yeah.
band.
You know how LA is.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
a senior home, dude. So it's
There's a
gonna
lot
be
of
right
that.
here on our left.
A lot of bad spots.
Can you guys hear me a little better now that I turned my camera off?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm at there's a Lawrence store truck. I'm at my parts supplier supplies for some really big companies. Okay, and there's always this manager who would come in from another. Since day one, we were there. Would come in and he'd always mess with us, right? Saying just talking shit because we're a small company compared to him. He's got multiple locations, and we only have one office, and he's got a bunch of trucks on the road. Well, he's in a bit of a pinch right now, and he's been on a job site for 2 weeks. He's been on a job site for 2 weeks, and he can't figure out how to fix this fucking door. So they called us to come fix the damn door. I just thought it's kind of funny that he's been messing with us, and now he needs us. I don't think this is it, dude.
What's that?
Is this 3120 Taylor Avenue? It doesn't look like an old folks' home. This looks like we're in some sort of a city building.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear
Taylor
me?
Avenue.
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah, Taylor Avenue. We got one right down the street.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that, he would always give us a hard time, and now he's using us to save his ass.
Never know. Never know who might need you.
Exactly.
That's the high score right there.
Shit. I know if I was in LA right now, I'd be right on Sunset Boulevard chilling. I'll take my ass right down to the
All right, let's go check in before we do anything. All
go
right,
down to
gentlemen,
the
I
Viper
gotta
room.
I
Hey,
gotta get
buddy.
back to
Hey,
work.
go make your money. Go make that
Got it.
money. I'll talk to you later tonight, my brother.
I'll see you guys later.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Chris. Have a good one. Fix that shit.
Go make that cheddar. Cheddar always makes it better. Where'd Brother Mule go?
Well, we just had a bad storm pass over top of them. Now it's
Now
over
that
top
I'm
of
all
them.
that,
Some big boomers, man.
I'm on and left.
Little tiny storm with some big ass thunder, though. It was huge. Sounded like an explosion.
Yeah, it started coming over us early this morning.
Yeah, you had a lot of it. You got that big shit over you now. That's a big low pressure
I haven't
system.
looked at the radar, but is it stopping anytime soon for you guys? Or
Well, we're training right now. You know what that means? It's like a track, like a freight train, just one thin band of fucking storms, one after another.
yeah,
And it's in a straight line from from center Missouri to over to center Illinois, straight up to us. And I headed for Detroit and then into Toronto. Unless, depending on how this low sucks it up.
yeah. I'm right in between Detroit and Toronto, so
Yeah, it might miss you then. Hopefully, but depends on how much it moves east. It's moving very, very slowly east.
yeah. Sometimes though it picks up steam when it goes over the Great Lakes. So
But it's a big curl now. And, it's wide at the top. It looked like a big colon, so it's wide at the top and narrow at the bottom, and it goes all the way down into central Missouri. Lots of little storms in that tail.
Well, I know a lot of people need rain right now.
Yeah.
It dried up real bad.
Man,
The
I wish I
summer
had
was
a
real hot.
rain catchment system in place.
yeah, it'd be nice to have a nice little cistern or something.
Yeah.
A lot of crops need that shit. A lot of crops got all dried up this year.
Right.
They're begging for rain.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got parts in the country that don't need any rain, or the rain fucked them up.
Right.
Everyone's power. Sometimes you live in counties that when it sneezes, the power goes out.
Yeah. We used to live in a place like that.
And it all depends on how the infrastructure is.
We used to have these emergency lights that you plug them into the wall and leave them there, or else you could take them off and turn them on like a flashlight and walk around with it. But anyway, we'd have them all plugged in, in the living room, dining room, bedrooms, and down the hallway, so that when the power went off, as soon as it went off, they turned on automatically.
Yeah.
So that was cool. We all, had automatic emergency lights.
I got a bunch of old car batteries that I reconditioned, and I put my old trickle charger on them. I keep them charged. If power goes out, I can always grab my inverter on it and plug it into the freezer so nothing goes bad.
Yeah. Yeah, last year, I'll never forget, we went to Sam's Club and we spent like $500 on groceries. $500. Like not even 6 hours later, the power goes out. For 7 days.
Jeez.
So let's say
the Great Blackout went on?
So I was sitting there for 7 days, no power, trying to buy a generator. Well, first I tried to get in a hotel. No hotel within 50 miles of radius. Because everybody here, when the power goes out, all these pussies go to the hotel. So fucking, they'll get the report from BG&E. They'll hear that the power's out for a week, so they'll go book themselves and their family at the Holiday Inn Express for like $500-$600.
There ain't even a hotel near me for 30 miles.
So basically, well, there wasn't a hotel, Joe, within 65, 70 miles. The closest one to my house was like 73 miles. And So basically, fucking right after that happened, I took my ass to Sam's and I went and got a fucking generator. Quick.
Yeah.
Was that during the Great Blackout there?
Yeah. Yeah. It was bad.
The weird part was that sections here in Canada came back on before others. Like ours was down for 3 days at my house, and my grandfather, who lived out in the country, his power was back up that same night. So I went out to his place, picked up his generator, brought it home, and threw my fridge and freezer on the generator.
Yeah, it's crazy, Stan. It's really weird. We'll have no power for like 6 days, and the people right behind me will have power the whole time because they're on different grids.
Yeah.
Right. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to go. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take little man. All right, guys, I'll be back.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I might be shutting the whole thing down here pretty soon because it's been about an hour. But we can definitely hang out and chat.
That's cool. I got a jet anyways. I got to go start getting supper ready for the kids and that. There's a lull in the rain so I can take the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll see you later. We'll go see, check out, make sure my wife's paint job on the front porch is holding up. Yeah, I'm sure it is. No problem.
Right. Good thing, hopefully she had some time to dry before the storms hit you.
Oh, yeah, it did. It was dry before dark yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, she busted her ass on that thing. But I couldn't, I took the dog outside for a while. I couldn't even fucking breathe, so.
Yeah.
And,
That humid, huh?
Yeah. Then the fucking bones and muscles start acting up and like, fuck, I'm no good anymore.
Yeah, I don't miss the humidity. I mean, the heat is intense in Phoenix, but shit, I mean, if I moved just a little bit north, like an hour and a half north, it's so different, man. When I went to that J&G sales, right, it's about an hour and a half to almost 2 hours away, and it was 104 in Phoenix. It was only 86 at J&G, and it was still just as nice of a dry, hardly any humidity kind of climate.
Found their sweet spot there, huh?
Oh, it's definitely Prescott, Chino Valley. Those are very nice places. Payson's pretty good. Of course, Flagstaff's actually a little bit on the cold side. It's usually, it probably was in the 70s, low 70s in Flagstaff that day.
Because they're higher elevation.
Mostly, yeah.
And then, what, you're in relation to Prescott, you're south of Prescott then, huh?
Yeah, I'm about an hour and a half south of Prescott. We're about maybe 3 to 4 hours south of Flagstaff. But, there's just not as much, it's not as big a city, so it's not as many jobs. That's the only reason why we decided to come to Phoenix.
Sound like you would be getting a hell of a mixture of weather over there.
Yeah. Well, in Prescott, it snows every winter, right? Not a lot, but a little bit. Enough to make a snowman, maybe, But it's never really, really cold. It never gets below 0, really. Flagstaff will get just as cold, if not colder, and just as much snow, if not more snow, than places in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I've heard that Flagstaff, all of a sudden, boom, one overnight they get 4 feet of fucking snow.
Yeah, Flagstaff actually gets more snow on average than most states out in the east.
But it doesn't stay long.
Oh, it stays long in Flagstaff, right? They have ski resorts there, and that's like the winter destination for everybody in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, during the summer it melts, sure, but, yeah, they get plenty of snow, build-up snow, and it's just not all of Arizona's a desert, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's what they call the high desert, isn't it?
I guess. I never really thought of that because it's all forest. We have also like one of the longest stretch of pine tree forest around.
Yeah.
Because there is no cactus. Once you get maybe a half an hour out of Phoenix, there is no more cactuses. All right? It's just pine tree forest.
Wow. Now, I've been out there and I've driven that route a couple of times. You know, shit, that's been 30 fucking years.
Right.
I don't even remember most of it. You know, it's once we reach a certain point, I think it right almost to the ass end of Texas west side, you know, that the weather started getting, even though it was hot, it was dry and it was very comfortable compared to being over here in the same temperature.
Oh yeah, the humidity would kill you, man. It's just night and day. When I went to see Kansas, it was crazy humid because it'd been storming like every day except for the day we went to shoot, and it was just so bad. And it was only 80 degrees, but I couldn't breathe.
Shit, you know, we got, you know, my wife's got relatives in Florida, and they said, you know, the first year they're down there, it's like trying to breathe water.
It's bad, man.
Fuck that. You can't even go fishing and have a good time.
No, might as well fish in the air, right?
Yeah.
Any shout-outs, Joe, before I close this thing down?
Yeah, I'm going to say shout out and get well quick to Little G and Kansas Hillbilly Prepper. And see who somebody had their wife and kid in Julie Mudbuster. Shout out to him and his wife and son. Hope they get over their pneumonia real well, and I know how that is. I've had it before. And then shout out to the Poison Stinger, of course.
Thank you.
And Green Dragon Chats and Mule Team 66. All righty. Yeah, I'll do it for now.
Yeah, I didn't know about Mudbuster and his family. That sucks. I hope they do well for sure. Yeah. Kansas, you know, Kansas is definitely doing better. It was great to see him on here even for a little bit. Hopefully next week he'll do his own chat full length, but until then, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time. So okay, I'll let you go get busy with what you got there. Don't want to hold you up.
Yeah, well, it's just one of those days, you know. But I figured it was a good chat. We got to see Kansas, get an update from him, and everybody dropped in for a little bit. So thanks for everybody who joined us in this chat. And next week, hopefully, Kansas will be hosting it all the way. And anyway, yeah, just thanks for watching. Talk to y'all later.
All right, good night.